Hello world, you are watching Archie Television and I am your host, Lawrence Archie. Welcome returning viewers, welcome new viewers. You're watching the first installment to a four-part tutorial series where we will model, we will texture, we will rig, etc. When last I left you, we were working on our air. And without further ado, I want to come back in here and I want to delete a few of these vertices that I put into my model so that we could attach the air. And just looking, I'm viewing my work from the last time I spoke with you guys, and I'm just trying to see where I can cut the fat. Do I want to delete this entire face loop of faces, or do I just want to delete? Well, yes, let's delete all of these faces, not all the vertices. Let's delete this. Actually, let's delete these faces. Come in here to vertex group. Let's just merge these faces at last, one by one. Let's merge these guys together. Simply, all I'm doing is taking this vertex that's attached to the air, and well, the vertex that's attached to the air, and I'm taking this vertex while holding shift that's attached to the face, and I'm hitting Alt M, merging at last. A real simple tactic is something that is extremely vital, something that I use a lot. And at this point, I can come and I can smooth these vertices. I can pull these vertices closer to the air to get that. To get the look that I'm looking for. I don't want all the vertices, I just want the vertices located in the front of the ear. I don't want to take those vertices and I just want to move it closer to the face. I want to do the same with these vertices. I want to move these vertices closer to the face. I want to take these vertices and I want to move them away from these vertices, Control E, and move these vertices away. Edge line. Not as I control why it's not working, but we'll come back to that as soon as I flatten the surface out, the surface of the ear out. And seeing by doing so, I'm gonna have to flatten out the majority of the ear. And pull these guys in. what I just did at that point is I undo it. I selected these vertices in the middle, and I just hit X and delete edge loop to get that look that I'm going for in the front of the ear, to have the ear look like it's attached to the face, because the front of the ear looks significantly different from the back of the ear when it attached to the face. We don't want the front of the ear to look anything like the back of the ear, because the front of the ear doesn't look anything like the back of the ear. For some reason, we had pinching back here due to vertices being connected in the wrong place. So all we need to do at this point is hit Control R, and we can select our vertices, and we can move our guys into its proper space. We can edge slide. Evidently, selected all of my vertices. We can edge slide these. Control E. Undo that. Control E. I want the edge loop. I don't want to edge slide that over just a wee bit. I want to take these vertices and I want to move them inward. Let's move them inward a little bit more. Let's just select this vertex and move it inward. And we want a little bit of geometry because the back of the ear isn't as flat as this. Even though this is a style character, we still want the geometry to be somewhat accurate. We don't want it to be some toonish, just devilishly bad remnants of the human body. Grab these vertices and pull these guys up to get that loop downward toward the bottom of the ear. Pull this guy down to get that question mark that we were speaking of earlier. Pull it down a little bit more. Let's pull this guy down to get that loop down at the bottom of the ear. Just take these guys and pull these guys up. At this point, not entirely 100% satisfied, but you guys get the gist. Just want to undo our magnet. Don't want it snapping on. Tiny has ears. At this point, I'm not going to spend too much more time dealing with his ear. If you guys wish to do so, by all means. But at that point, I am finished with dealing with his ear. At a later date, possibly off camera, I may come back in here and I may add a little bit. It's just irking the crap out of me, so I just need to move forward. And at this point, what we want to do is we want to come in here and we want to add a mask to our tiny character, so his body is not shining through. But to add a mask, we need to come in and we need to add a vertex group to it. So we need to come in here and we need to add a vertex group, and then we need to decide what we want attached to that vertex group. So let's come to the back side of Tiny. This is where we can get the best assumption of where his body is shining through our pants, and we want to assign to that. Double click on there and we can name it. We just guess we can call it body, so it can be easily identified. Once we come in here, come to our modifiers, we add a mask, and on that mask we body and invert the body. So when we look at our model, this is how our model would be rendered. If we rendered it, it would hide the body from the pants. But as you can see right here, we have a slight problem because of where we have our edge loop. We just want to come in here, we want to select this edge loop, we want to hit Control E, and we want to edge slide that edge loop down because we want that away from visibility. So once we render it, we can delete this edge loop, and we can pull this edge loop down even more. And as you can see, our pants is on, the mask is working. It's just a lot of tit for tat. You have to play with this guy to get it working properly, to have our clothes sitting on top of our mask, have our mask in the right area. Because if you look at our pants in edit mode without our mask activated, you can see where adjustments need to be made. And these adjustments we will make in our very next tutorial, guys. I'm gonna leave you with my motto: if you're going to dream, dream big. Good night, world.